Miles, you're parachuting and ziplining in this. What did Top Gun do to you, man? Are you like a bona fide
Dude,
adrenaline junkie now?
He's into
I'm
it.
just trying to get I'm just trying to get an action figure.
He will accept
I
the
will
mission.
stop at nothing less than to have just a collection of action figures when I'm very old that I can show my grandkids like Grandpa was pretty cool at one point.
Dude, well, I'm hoping that for you. As soon as I got my own action figure, it's all I would give people for the rest of my life.
I need
just
to
have
play
boxes
Christmas.
of them.
I need to play a
Christmas
professional
presents.
Merry
wrestler.
Christmas.
That's all they get.
But Miles was game to do pretty much all his own stunts, you know? He did everything that we could be responsible in letting him do. You know, but both he and Anya did a lot of their own stunts in this movie.
I wanted to ask you, Anya, you always seem to play characters with such distinct accents. How do you approach finding the right voice for a character, and which accent's been the toughest for you to get the hang of?
Russian is pretty hard to make sound natural if you're doing it like 100% by the book. It's a pretty tough accent to do, but this was really nice because I had a lovely Lithuanian actor who kind of talked me through the accent, and then when I did it, he was like, "Oh, you make Lithuanians really proud," and that made me happy.
I was kind of surprised that this was PG-13 because it felt like it could have easily leaned into being an R-rated kind of movie. So was a PG-13 film like always the original plan?
It's always the original plan. If you want a PG-13 movie, shoot an R-rated movie. It's much easier to trim it back to PG-13 than it is trying to build it up to be a scary or an intense or an exciting PG-13. I was frankly surprised with what we got away with. I felt the same way. I thought that I had made a pretty intense movie with some pretty graphic imagery and some pretty disturbing imagery. And the things that we had to change were small, and I was very happy that I basically got to keep the cut that I wanted without doing any real damage.
Now, did you guys get to do any actual sniper training for this? And if so, I want to know who's the better shot.
We did a lot of sniper training,
Yeah.
but we were getting up there and we were shooting, at ranges with hundreds of yards away and moving, a lot of kind of tactical movements and things. And we were trained completely differently because we're coming from different backgrounds, cultural, military backgrounds.
Yeah. What
That's
I would
really
say
cool.
is that I'm pretty blind, and I have startling accuracy considering the fact that I cannot see. It's almost better when I don't have my contact lenses in. It's a weird thing.
What was
I
the
know.
biggest difference in the training between the two?
Probably the American style has more awareness of the individual. Eastern Europeans move more as a team with slightly less care for the individual in that way.
Sigourney Weaver, just an absolute icon, and it's so cool that she's in this with you. What was it like sharing scenes with her for each of you?
The crew and everyone was really excited when they looked on the call sheet that day and saw that she was working. She's an absolute legend. She is the godmother of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
She's just such a sweetheart too. And when you have that kind of veteran experience on set, it makes you feel good. For all of us, you end up at some point working with somebody that you're such a big
Admired,
fan of
yeah.
and admired. So it's really that's one of the nice perks of this job.